You guys ready? You guys ready?
Take it away, Matt.
You ready to party? Ready
Yep.
for this train wreck? This exciting, fun-filled episode?
I'm hodling onto my butt right now.
Hello, and welcome to the Campfire Gaming Podcast. My name is Matt, and I will be your host tonight. We've got a action-packed night, kind of mixed match night of information here. We'll be covering some news with Battlefield 2042, surprise, some more Halo. We're on the eve of Halo dropping here, so
Drops tomorrow as of recording.
So we got a bunch of news there, and then a bunch of other random topics to get to, such as Hell Let Loose. What do we got? Some Dying Light in there, and a bunch of other good stuff. But joining me tonight is the man, the myth, the legend. No, it's not Mike. It's Chris. How are you doing, Chris?
I'm doing okay.
And we also have Rich.
Yep.
With his Halo hat again. I love it. I need to get a Halo hat.
Do you like that picture in the Discord?
Yeah, I loved it.
Where it's like this, it's this same hat, but it's like,
It's
almost
got color.
8 years faded. Yeah, 8 years not faded.
And you mentioned our Discord, so we might as well get to that. Everyone should come join our Discord. We have plenty of fun over there. You can find a link to our Discord at our website, Campfire Gaming Podcast, along with links to our other socials such as Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Although we need to get back to streaming on Twitch. We keep mentioning it, but it's just been a busy holiday season. Yeah, so we'll get to it. I think Chris has some plans to do some streaming over the holidays.
Yep.
So
definitely going to be doing some streaming while not a whole lot else is going on in the world.
Yep.
Now, Chris, are you going to be streaming on Twitch or will you be streaming on YouTube?
I'm going to be honest. I'm probably going to stream on Twitch. We got to get that. That seems like the right place to start. And we'll probably post the recaps on YouTube so people can see how pathetic I actually am. It'll be immortalized in history.
You could do we should want to. Oh, I'm gonna be traveling. You should, if you're around, you should do a playthrough of Halo. Throw that up there. So
It would be fun.
That'd be fun to watch. But yeah, so come check us out. Give us a follow. Give us a like. Leave us some comments on all of those wonderful social places. You know how it works. You've been around the social media, I'm sure, for years. So yeah, give us a hand or just come talk with us on Discord or on social. So with that, we also want to announce. Actually, that's kind of the way I phrase it makes it sound like something exciting. It's exciting, but it's not. Our holiday break coming up here. This will be our second to last episode. We'll have one more where we cover the Game Awards and our very own Campies. That'll be out next week, and that'll be our last one for the holiday. And we're going to take a well-deserved break until I think I never updated this date. Is it still January 9th?
I thought that's what we discussed.
Is that what we said? January 15th, I think, is when our next episode will drop after our holiday break.
Keep an eye on our social media. We'll keep you updated on when we're actually coming back.
Yep. We'll keep you updated on social, unlike me keeping our podcast notes up to date with the correct date. So with that, let's get into this party. We're going to start off here with Battlefield 2042. That's been out for
a couple weeks.
A couple weeks now.
Yep.
And I mean, there's some good, there's some bad, and there's some shakeup. So I actually think the shakeup here is some good news for the series. So this week it was announced that DICE GM Oscar Gabriel. This is why I don't host, because I can't say names. Is leaving, will be replaced by Rebecca Kutaz. But the kind of exciting news, and what I think is really exciting, is I can't even say his name, and I know how to say it. Vince Zampella is going to be taking over Battlefield as a franchise. He's best known for his works at starting little-known series that a lot of people haven't heard of is Call of Duty. Another one that a lot of people haven't heard of is Titanfall/Apex. So, just small games, but he'll be jumping in and taking on the role of the Battlefield franchise here moving forward. How do you guys feel about that?
So I know that there's kind of some mixed feelings out there online right now about Vince taking over for the Battlefield franchise, mainly because like when it comes to things like live services, really the only live service under his belt so far has been Apex Legends.
Mm-hmm.
And while Apex Legends, I believe is, I mean, the only BR game that I can really stand. It is a pretty good game, but the flow at which that they deliver content seems to be pretty slow and lacking. So there's some concerns about that. But overall, I think Vince and Respawn, in a greater sense, have they've shown that they have that ability to push back on things that EA has sort of suggested or wanted. So I think that Vince might be the right guy to start moving Battlefield in the right direction. When they start demanding some really bad changes out of Battlefield for like monetization practices and things like that, he might be the kind of guy to push back on that and say, no, that's going to drop the gameplay. Like that's not going to make it fun anymore, that sort of thing. So I think it could be a good thing.
Yeah, my biggest fear would be anything that could fundamentally change what makes Battlefield so fun. Like the bigger scale combat that isn't a battle royale, that kind of almost it's what now Hell Let Loose has kind of mastered fairly well in the last few years, but that kind of the grand scale combat that's not really what Call of Duty does. Call of Duty does that tighter, closer combat fights. So that'd be my only real concern. Other than that, I mean, he's definitely has a decent track record for success.
I think that's why I'm excited, is because he, once he came in and started Respawn, he kind of went at the time that they created Respawn. EA, obviously we talk a lot of crap about EA here, but like back when they started that, it was not, EA was in a really bad spot. They've been getting better, but they were in a real bad spot. And for him to come in, start a studio and create Titanfall and then Titanfall 2 and basically go against everything that EA was doing at the time. And then, go on and make a great Star Wars game. And I know it to me, the Apex.
One of the few Star Wars games that wasn't like riddled in controversy when it released.
Yeah, right.
And then go on and the studio created Apex, and to me that almost sounds more like a lot of studios that take on live service games is they don't know how to support it, right, until they've actually done it, right, and then they get in a good groove, right. I've saw that with a couple other live service games. I guess the one I'm most familiar with is Destiny. It was real rough early on, and now they're in a good rhythm, right. They've kind of adjusted their studio and their development to make it work. So for him to come over to Battlefield, I think is exciting. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is the fact that he is also going to continue his responsibilities at Respawn. They're building a separate studio to handle Apex and continue support for live service there. And then working on some other unannounced projects, it sounds like. So like, I guess, maybe he is a little bit like, what is it, like Elon Musk, where he's got, they're just real good guys at managing like a bunch of different things at the same time. So I just hope his talent doesn't get spread too thin and we start getting, a little lacking here and there. But we'll see. Any changes or anything he brings to the table is probably going to take a year or two before we kind of start seeing that.
Yeah, it might be a little, I mean, at least until the next Battlefield iteration or whatever this Battlefield universe thing that they're kind of diving into, which I think we're kind of going to be talking about a little bit here, talking about more in a little bit here, but we'll have to see some of the fruits of that if Vince has got a really big impact on that. But I mean, just kind of going back into history a little bit, I mean, Apex Legends wouldn't have happened without Vince. It was Vince that kind of pushed back on EA because EA didn't want something like that to exist. And they were kind of playing off of at the time they were playing off of the hype of PUBG and Fortnite and released it at a really good time to an audience that actually loved it. I mean, I think Apex is probably a really big inspiration for why Warzone exists. I think they play kind of similar. So I think it's definitely going to be a good, nice having his vision over there, I think, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll have to see if that actually bears fruit, because I think we were talking about it in Discord a little bit, that the a lot of the people from DICE that were kind of like, you know, OG Battlefield people have all like they've all left. They've all left. They've most of them, Patrick Soderlund, they all went to, you know, start Embark, which funny enough, we're going to see something from that pretty soon, supposedly. Conveniently, they're dropping a trailer on, you know, in 2 days. So,
yeah, no, that's it. Just DICE is starting to sound more and more like, you know, like BioWare, right? After years and years of the abuse from EA, these really awesome studios have been just having some trouble, you know, with these change in direction and management, and just some of those old visionaries are kind of gone. So people are getting kind of confused what their games are, you know, like what makes a Battlefield, what makes a Mass Effect or Drag, you know, whatever, right? You know?
One, it's trying to find the right balance between, you know, keeping the gameplay that drew people in, but recognizing what the market wants. Because I mean,
or
I
being
still
able to
recall when we used to buy DLC or map packs, and how unbelievably annoying that was.
Yeah, I mean, and not just that, right? It's, you know, it's being able to take an existing franchise, something that is very near and dear to a lot of people, and being faithful to that franchise, but also at the same time not just regurgitating the games that have already existed. You know, being able to try and build upon it, expand it, that sort of thing, and do it in a creative enough way that makes it kind of like your state, you know, your stamp on this franchise. You know, it's a really hard balance to get into.
Yeah. And you kind of mentioned it. Do you guys recognize? I was never too familiar with a lot of the leads over there at DICE, but the head of design left, Fozzie Mesmar. Does that somebody kind of rings a bell in that community at DICE? Is that?
I recognize the name, but it isn't triggering exactly what I remember him from.
Well, he joined in 2019, and he kind of led the Battlefield and Star Wars Battlefront franchises. So he ended up leaving. But again, that's kind of with all this other news with like the GM and Vince coming in. So, you know, it was kind of a last couple of weeks, again, kind of a little bit of a shake up there. You know, they're moving people around, or people are heading out. So, but yeah, head of design left. I didn't see anything about new people coming in, but Rich, you mentioned it, the connected Battlefield universe. That was also kind of announced this week, with not a lot of information, or I miss it if there was. It just sounds like right now, and obviously if they don't have a grand vision of it yet, or just things set in stone of how they want to do it, it just kind of felt like, hey, we're going to be making this big Battlefield universe. We'll talk about it later. We don't know what we're doing yet, but we're doing it. I don't know. Do you guys get that impression too?
I don't know. It seemed like almost kind of like a like they're trying to talk about Battlefield as a service, kind of a prospect. I thought it was funny that they called it a Battlefield universe. It made me think it's like, oh, they're trying to make like a, you know, Battlefield cinematic universe or something like that. And it's like, oh, that's kind of silly, but you know, I don't know what that really means. It doesn't excite me at all because I don't know what it is.
Yeah, like even just a high level overview of kind of what they're thinking. Like, I mean, we got maybe a little peek into it because, you know, and we've talked about this at some previous episodes, is Marcus Leto, famously known for helping out with the original Halo and designing Master Chief himself. He's putting together a new studio in Seattle to build some new like storytelling based Battlefield game. And then Ripple Effect, which Vincent Pella originally was head of, which I think is DICE LA, or was DICE LA. Now they're Ripple Effect. They're the ones that made Portal, which apparently sounds like that's actually a lot of fun in the game. They were working on Portal, but they're apparently also working on another experience as well. So to me, this almost seems like, maybe not in the sense of like Call of Duty, where they have like 5 studios now that work on those iterations every year, but more of like, they're still going to have like, I don't know, in this case, we know 3, maybe more in the future, but 3 studios working on different Battlefield experiences inside their Battlefield universe. So I don't know if that's a good clue, but that's kind of maybe, I don't know, maybe in my mind, kind of a peek into where they might be going.
I could see them kind of leaning back, because a lot of people have been, one of the most popular Battlefields, I mean, I can't even
Say
say
it, say it.
recently anymore, but Bad Company. People
Criminal that we haven't had a third one of those.
right. Well, and this is exactly what I think they're kind of looking at doing, but still having a studio focus on multiplayer focused experiences and kind of going down that pathway, yet making sure it all connects in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. We'll see where it leads. Hopefully, hopefully for good, not for Call of Duty.
Yeah, right.
Or
it's really
just whatever they do with Battlefield.
yeah. Just don't turn it into Call of Duty. That's my fear.
Yeah. No, we don't. Yeah. I don't know the last Call of Duty I played, but anyways, kind of getting into some of the more hot topic stuff, and I'm just more curious your thoughts on it, Chris, because I think you're the only one that's really been playing this game.
I have played quite a bit of it. Yeah.
I didn't keep up with a lot of this. Over the weekend, there was some controversy over a Santa Claus skin. Is that really just because the Battlefield community feels they want to keep the game grounded, kind of in
That's
reality?
a lot of it. Yeah.
So Fortnite, Call of Duty,
Well, and
Destiny now.
it's
Seeing them
it's
get
kind
crazy
of
crap.
why why a lot of people push back against the whole specialist system in the first place is we're kind of used to Battlefield not having unique characters, which is a weird way to put it, but it's kind of true in an extent. And when you first see the specialist, the first thought that did pop into my head is, oh yeah, they're gonna sell some skins.
Yep, they're gonna try and sell skins for it.
Yeah. So I can't say I'm horribly shocked that the Santa Claus thing came up, and I'm kind of glad it seems to have kind of gotten shoved away almost as quickly. Just like, I mean, it doesn't affect anything in the game. It just, yeah, it seems hokey, and that's not really what Battlefield's about.
Right. Because the next thing we want to see is, like Darth Vader,
right,
and Shepard, and all these people running around in Battlefield.
Well, and I'll be the first person to say one of the things that I because early on I did kind of enjoy Warzone quite a bit, but I started falling out of it the second they did their Halloween horror event, and you could all of a sudden be killers from horror movies, and I'm just like,
yeah, it's like, man,
that takes me out of this. The meta just doesn't matter anymore. Fine, I guess it doesn't, and I've since walked away. Clean break.
It's a good thing to do sometimes with games. So
feels good. Not gonna lie.
And it sounds like you're not the only one to walk away.
I was just going to ask again. This is going to be more shot at you, Chris. Here is there was reports that over the last 2 weeks on Steam they've lost 70% of their players. All I know about the game really is the internet rage. So to me, my view of the game is it's just a complete broken mess, right? I'm sure at least half of what I've read is true, but half of it, other half might be kind of, exaggerated. But I mean, this is kind of, in my opinion, a little damning if you're losing 70% of your players in the last 2 weeks.
I mean, 70% is a lot because every game, you do kind of expect there'll be a drop off after a couple of weeks after its initial release, but 70% does seem like a considerable amount. The gameplay is fun. Like, it feels a lot like Battlefield games do and should. It's just there's things like I don't know how many kills I get at the end of a match. I don't get to see how many times I died. It does show a group, how good my squad did on that, but I don't know what I did. And it feels, scoreboard. Yeah, I could see people being like, because as someone who I really shouldn't pay attention to my stats because it'll just disappoint me to the nth degree. But I do want to know. So not knowing is kind of frustrating. And there's plenty of other bugs. Planes fly strangely, let's put it that way. But yeah, it's getting better. I'll give it credit.
I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are, because one of the reviews that I was watching was talking about how insane the amount of hovercraft there are in the game. The fact that you can call them down for free or almost for free, and they're everywhere. Was that your experience too? Just hovercraft city?
There's so many. Well, so they put a cap on how many vehicles can spawn as opposed to the way it used to be before, where there would only just be like 2 tanks or one
It'd be
helicopter.
static spawns.
Yeah. And I occasionally, you'll always see the little icon saying, I can tell it to spawn a vehicle. And the only 2 that are ever there is a truck and a hovercraft. And it's just like, God damn it. I'm so tired of this stuff. That hovercraft controls like, I guess I assume what a magic carpet controls like. It just doesn't seem to react to gravity at all.
I saw some videos where it's like going up the side of a building. And then they go off the side of the building and then they're kind of almost flying with it.
It's so insane. I'm like, oh, come on. Yeah, I gave up on it.
Mm-hmm. I only ever played the beta, and it felt like, as I was watching reviews and other videos and things like that, it just seemed like pretty much all my complaints from the beta were still there. So I really wanted to get another good Battlefield to hop into, but I'll wait. What is it? 5 years? Isn't that how long it took them to get Battlefront? Right?
Oh,
Battlefront 2. Yeah, Battlefront 2, it took them like, it was probably like a couple of years or something like that.
And I will say it does kind of feels like it suffers from the same issue. Like the core mechanics are good. It's just the wrapping doesn't work right. So, I don't know. I'll still be on there every once in a while playing games because it's Battlefield and I just love Battlefield. But yeah, the glory days.
Yeah. Cool. Is there any other thoughts or anything on Battlefront? No.
All right, I have a few on Battlefront. Most of them dealing with
Battlefield.
Darth Vader, but
Pink Darth Vader.
Battlefield. I'm sorry, Battlefield. I told you before we started, my brain's fried. So it's only Tuesday. It's been a long week at work.
Yeah,
so
tell me about
it. On into our what has been almost a weekly topic, our Halo Infinite section. Surprise, it's here again. I'm gonna put out a reminder. Come over to our Discord. We love me and Chris are head to head in this.
Oh my God,
if you want to see
constantly.
if you want to see your host go head to head, we should create a separate channel where it's just like Matt and Chris fight.
You should. Yeah, we should just create a like Matt and Chris Battlegrounds trailer.
I mean, we could start with a trailer. We could put it pinned at the very top.
Yep. And I'll be like, all right, and go. Fight.
But it all comes out of love from both of us for each other and the game. But it's kind of we have a bunch of news here, but I feel a lot of it is kind of some of it's good, but I feel some of the good stuff has been mostly in response to some bad things. But I'll we'll chat about it and see what everybody's thoughts are. So
well, I guess first things first, let's just dive into that. From this recording, the campaign launches tomorrow.
Yes.
So I know all 3 of us are very excited to get our hands on the campaign because we
believe it.
Yeah, we've been talking about it nonstop since basically E3.
Yep.
It doesn't launch all at the same time. It's not like a midnight. It doesn't launch at midnight on December 8th. So if you are, far east countries, you are technically on December 9th for the release. So it's for us, I believe it is noon tomorrow is when
Central,
is when it goes live. So noon Central Standard Central Standard Time.
I've got a feeling a lot of us are taking our full hour for lunch.
And then some. It's going to be a long lunch.
Yep. And as far as launch times, just for the timing of the episode, this is only going to be relevant for those of you in the future that download our episode and travel back in time and need this information to know when Halo Infinite launches. But yes, we're all excited. And yeah, it's getting some early reviews are pretty positive. Excited to dig in. It doesn't sound like it's going to be a Halo 5 story. So
thank God.
We're already winning there. Yeah. So I think you guys talked a little bit about Halo the other week when I missed the episode. Did we cover the kind of some of the battle pass progression stuff and how the XP was kind of, yeah. So,
yeah, we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to not with how kind of
slow
it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I played 10 games and I got 1 level, and I was like, and I did pretty good in a couple of games. I'm like, ooh. But some changes came down the pipe for XP. It's so your first 6 matches, it's pretty you get some pretty good XP drops of 300, then 2 games of 200, and then 3 games of 100, and everything past 6 games will be 50 XP. So at least you should be able to get a little bit farther on your battle pass there. So that's some good fixes. Have you guys? I think Rich, you've just probably a lot of these could be directed at you. Chris, did you play a lot in the last couple of weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Or okay, so directed at both of you. I haven't touched it since the launch week when they surprise dropped it. So,
wow.
Man, I was on vacation for
right,
Thanksgiving, and then I came back and I had this insane itch to play Hell Let Loose.
He's been
That's true. You have been
heavy
on
into
pretty much
Hell Let
every
Loose.
night.
Yeah, yep. I'm just like, somebody come play with me. Rich came one night and played with me.
I'll
We had a good
get
time.
back in there. I just need
We're having a
hours
good
in
old
the
time.
day.
Yep. Listeners, hop on
But what
Discord and
was-
come play Hell Let Loose with me. But anyways, yeah. So how do these XP changes seem better?
They seem okay. I honestly don't feel like it's super noticeable. I do, yeah, like it doesn't take me as many games to start
Mhm.
hitting some of those levels. So it's yeah, it's better. I think it's better. I kind of wish they would adjust a little bit how the challenges work more so. Mainly because I think that's kind of the yeah, it's kind of
is
the
a
big
little
way of
weird.
getting XP for the battle pass, but it's not just the battle pass that the challenge, like it's not just the battle pass that you do the challenge, why you do the challenges. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay. It's not solved, is what I will say. It doesn't. Yeah, the problem is not fixed. I do think that there's a lot of the cosmetics that are locked away in the battle pass, that are okay. I think the pacing of it seems better for the regular player, so you don't have to sit and grind out like 20 games for
Mhm.
you to get like a level or something like that, which is nice.
I can't believe I'm going to say it this way, but I am going to phrase it this way. Yeah, it definitely has gotten better. But the thought that occurred to me the other day while I was playing is if they're going to stick to a challenge-based system to do all this, they might be better off looking at Call of Duty's challenge system. Because Call of Duty doesn't. I mean, they lock a handful behind, but only because you didn't unlock whatever the weapon is. So obviously that'd be different here. But
Yeah.
they do progressive challenges. So like, get 10 kills. Okay, now get 100 kills. Like they boost it up as you go. It's not. I have to do this block of challenges, or have an unlockable to swap out that challenge to go do something else. Especially when, like, one of 2 nights ago or last night, I honestly can't remember. 2 of my challenges required me to play a Slayer match. Well, I can't choose a Slayer match, so I was stuck doing, just playing games until I finally got into a Slayer match to get stuff unlocked. And it's like, well, I don't get me wrong, I really enjoy Oddball, but I need Slayer right now.
Right. And that was the same thing for me too, is that I had, and not only that, but I mean, maybe it's just like that they do need to change up either how they do the challenges or what those challenges even are. Because I've noticed that in trying to do some of those challenges, it really, really rocks the boat as to how you're going to play those matches too. And I don't mean that in like a positive way. So for an example, here's something that I ran into. I had a challenge to stop 3 people from returning their own flag. Now, aside from the fact that it took me like 14 games to get into my first CTF game.
Jesus, yeah, they never show up.
Yep, to get into a CTF game. Besides that fact, I noticed all it was making me do was like, I don't want to play 14 games to get to another CTF. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm not actually playing the objective. I'm picking up the flag. I'm tossing it on the ground next to me, and I'm going to sit here and bait the enemy team so that I can kill them and get this stupid challenge done. Like, that is completely like, I am going like my team is doing one thing and I'm going like way off the other
Mhm.
direction to doing something else. And I think a lot of those challenges kind of facilitate that kind of behavior. This is one of
Mhm.
the big complaints you see online is like, oh, nobody's playing the objective. And it's like, well, yeah, because I got to go get, 4 kills with the shock rifle and then I'm done.
Right.
I don't have to care anymore.
It's probably extreme, or maybe they were exaggerating. But I was reading. Well, I first off, I frequent the salt mines that is our Halo. It's just
It's bad.
it's bad. But I did read somebody's comment where they're like, yeah, there was one game where we all like there was like 4 people that were just lined up at one of the weapons lockers because there was a challenge to I don't know what it was, whatever weapon it was, and everybody needed that weapon. And then whenever it
Mhm.
spawned, everybody fought over getting it, and then that's all. It's like it's. I said this to you, Rich. This is, and this could be a reason why I haven't really felt the need to go touch the game since the surprise launch. Is it's there? I have PTSD from Destiny. Destiny made a lot of these mistakes before, and it's like I don't want to go through that again. Is where they made they added too much. They were too specific in their challenges, or in this case, bounties in Destiny, or there was too much RNG. Or when they were really bad, it was both. And that kind of it seems like what's happening in Halo. There's too much RNG and there's too much specific, right?
Right.
Like if you like playing capture flag and you have that capture, stop the people from returning the flag or whatever your challenge was. Honestly, you'd probably get in and just play 5 or 6 games of capture the flag if there was a dedicated playlist,
Mhm.
Right.
right?
Yeah. I do
or-
think it is exacerbated by the fact that you can't really pick and choose what kind of game modes that you're trying to
Mhm.
play. You really have BTB, quick play, or ranked, and that's really all you get
Yeah.
to try and get these challenges done. Yeah, I think that does exacerbate the problem quite a bit because then, yeah, like aside from the fact that, like if you're trying to do like a weapon challenge or something like that, you might not be able to get the right map that you want, but like
Mhm.
not just on top of that, but getting the right map and having the appropriate spawns for that map. One of the ones that I remember getting is I had to get kills with the bulldog. And I know where the bulldog spawns on places like Bazaar or I think it's called Recharge or something like that. I know where they spawn, but I would get those maps, I would go to those spawns, oh, and it's a heat wave instead of the bulldog. So it's like, well,
Mhm.
now I'm just feeling like I got
Right.
screwed over and this game doesn't matter. So like
Yep.
I might as well just leave.
And it's where I honestly think they, again, not having played in 2 or 3 weeks here, I think they need to go both directions. One, and we'll get into this a little more specific game modes or playlists that you can pick specific things, and do a less dial down the specifics in the challenges, right? If you need to, maybe instead of get 5 wraith kills, get 5 kills with a vehicle, right? Things like that. You can still kind of say we want them to use the vehicles and do something with the vehicles, but instead of being a wraith, which who knows if that's going to spawn in, or a bulldog, they've got to have it broken down where there's like, oh, it's shotgun style weapons. Okay, well then now if you get a map with the heat
Right.
wave or the bulldog, who cares?
Right.
Just go grab a shotgun and go play with it, right?
Right.
Um,
Get a kill with a melee weapon or something.
Mhm.
Or
yes.
yeah.
So
Yeah, that'd probably make it a bit better. Just so
I-
that you can eliminate bits of that RNG in there just to kind of soften it up a bit, or something that can be done in many different types of games instead of very
Mhm.
specific kinds of games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, my opinion is they need to do both. But I think if anything, the playlist solution would be something they have to do, which they've talked about, which we'll jump over these other 2 things and just jump into that since we're talking about it. So it's found out over the weekend that if you turn on Steam, go into offline mode, they actually have a lot more playlists that you can play as or play in or whatever. So, but you can't go online with those, my understanding. So it's kind of been a little bit of a controversy in the community, the fact that they only have those, what do we say, the ranked, unranked, and BTB.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
ranked quick play BTB.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there was some news that that's the way it's going to be on launch day tomorrow, right? There's no new playlists. They're not going to get split out. So the community hasn't been terribly happy. I, for one, am not too terribly happy because I like just playing, like I said, specific game modes. I want BTB, Team Slayer, and SWAT. Those are the two I just want to play. I don't want to have to do rotations to try to get them. But
Mhm.
but the good news, 343 has mentioned they are going to be trying to get a few of those specific playlists into the game by end of the year, and work on some more long-term solutions to add more playlists. So
So
yeah.
they'll be coming.
I will say the event they had, which its name is completely escaping me right
Fiesta.
now. Yeah,
The
but
Tenrai event.
Yeah, that was fun. I enjoy Fiesta.
And it was, I mean, that's the kind of thing I think that a lot of people are getting hung up on too, is that, it was very easy for them to add in a new playlist
Right.
like that, like Fiesta specifically. So it's like people are kind of confused as to like, why can't you just add a Slayer mode? Like the Slayer
Mhm.
game mode is in there. You have the ability to create playlists like this. So why not do the thing,
Mm-hmm.
But according to, some posts from Sketch, it's not that simple apparently.
It has to do with. I'm sure it has to do with matchmaking in some way, shape, or form. Maybe through cross play. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not a dev.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to play BTP, Team Slayer, and SWAT, or as they're calling it, I guess Tactical Slayer is what they call it.
Yeah,
that was
Team
one of-
Tactical.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
what it
they've-
used to be called in like Halo 3, Halo 2.
I think it
No,
was-
Halo 3.
It was 3. I don't remember it in 2.
Yeah, I think it was called Team Tactical or something like that.
Some of the modes they have here. I mean, we know the Fiesta. They have a couple different iterations of that. Obviously, ranked, Tactical Slayer. They have Tactical Slayer Commandos, Manglers, Sidekicks, Stalkers. These are all in the offline playlist. Who knows?
I'm
if
really
these are gonna
curious
be...
what dodgeball is.
the attrition
Dodgeball?
sounded pretty cool, and I forgot.
It'd just be like grenades only.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, right. I just realized I miss King of the Hill.
I do
Yeah.
too. And infection. There's no infection
Yeah.
in here. There's no zombies.
Man,
attrition kind of sounded interesting because that's the way they kind of explained it in the article here, is that it's like almost like each team has tickets, and once you run out, you can't respawn anymore. But there's going to be like a revive mechanic to it, so
okay.
that could be kind
Yeah.
of interesting.
Yeah, it reminded me. It's not the same thing, but I know that I really wish they would bring this in, or at least figure out a way to like incorporate this in. But Quake, one of my all-time favorite games, has a mode called Freeze Tag, which is really, really fun. You have basically like, it's basically like you start off with full health and an overshield, essentially. You whittle down. No, this is something different. Sorry, that's something different. But basically, you run around the map as you normally would. When you get a kill, you don't like die and fall over. You literally get frozen still, and you just kind of sit there. And you have to have a teammate run up to you, stand next to you to thaw you out, and then respawn you somewhere else. And that's basically like, so the first team to like, it's played in rounds, right? But like the first team to kind of freeze all the other team, that's it, the round goes to them.
Yep.
I would love something like that. That would be so
be
cool.
interesting.
And I think that'd be great for Halo as well. It would work so well, I think.
See, I think like random loads like that, unless they become super popular, that's where it's okay to have like a rotating playlist or something. But staples like Team Slayer and SWAT, I feel. But anyways, we'll let the salt mines of Reddit argue over that. But
I'm not gonna lie, I already kind of miss having Fiesta in there just to kind of spice it up a bit.
It was fun to just
Was-
jump into.
Yeah,
just
it was
because
fun.
I didn't play. Is that just random loadouts each time
Yeah.
you die and come
Yep.
back? Okay.
Yep.
Yep, it's just
Those are
the
fun
Fiesta,
modes,
yeah,
yeah.
the
Well,
Fiesta you know and love, but it just kind of breaks it up nicely so that you have it's a constant, right? It wasn't
Mhm.
like Fiesta. I don't think it was always like Fiesta CTF or something like that. It was
Mhm.
like Fiesta Slayer
Well, and
the whole time. But
it's a fun mode that like one side can really be dominating, and then all of a sudden the other side starts spawning with rocket launchers randomly, and it sways the whole game in a different direction. It's just, I love the chaos.
it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys? Well, Chris, what do you play on? I already know Rich plays on PC.
Xbox.
Have you run into it? Apparently, this was the other weekend. I think Black Friday weekend there after Thanksgiving. And there was a lot of people complaining about cheaters as far as on the console side due to the crossplay. Did you like Did you guys run into any of that? I mean, not that you can't run into cheaters too, Rich, but you know, there's no way for Xbox people to opt out of playing with PC players.
I can't say I ran into anyone that I would explicitly state was cheating.
I don't think I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I've noticed it.
I could say I've run into people that are better than me that I'm going to say they're cheating, but.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's every time I die in Hell Let Loose. I'm like, that guy's a hacker.
Hacker.
And
that's why the game's just full of hackers.
I love, and every game that has multiplayer on multiple systems should have crossplay. But I think by default it needs to be standard that you also, whether you're PC or console, that you can opt out of it. But that's my 2 cents.
Especially if you already have bots that can populate matches just in case. Like, yeah, just give people an option to shut it off. Aside for ranked, of course. Ranked should probably be always crossplay.
Well, I saved this one for last. It's a small tidbit, but it's the last bit of Halo news because we want to get in. Everybody should go be a Game Pass subscriber, Ultimate subscriber. Go do it. We love Game Pass. Go subscribe, because if having a ton of different games on PC and console that you can play is part of your subscription, getting Xbox Cloud Gaming, which I'm going to throw a little tidbit in there. The week I was away for Thanksgiving, my buddy had an OG Xbox One. We did the Xbox Cloud Gaming. It worked. Like, we tried Forza. One night we just hopped into the whole list there. We just went down a bunch of random games and played, and I was surprised at how well it worked. And popped up Forza Horizon 5. That game looked really good, like, for streaming. So, you know, even if you stuck on an old OG Xbox One or doing just a crappy PC and you're streaming through, what is it, xbox.com/games or game or something like that.
I don't know what it is.
Like, cloud gaming is good. But anyways, go subscribe to Game Pass Ultimate. We're still not sponsored by them, but someday we hopefully
we will be.
Mm-hmm.
But the Halo stuff that you get if you're an Ultimate subscriber, they're going to be doing monthly, like, giveaway, or what they call it, bonuses. That's what they called. So this month, starting tomorrow. Wait, today's starting tomorrow, you will get the past tense MA40 assault rifle coating for 2 XP or 2 XP boosts, 2 times XP boosts, and then 4 challenge swaps. So you're going to get a bunch of goodies, and I imagine they're going to start rolling this out for other games too. I feel like this is just a start. Or is there other? Do you know of any other games where you can?
They have it for a lot of other stuff. You can. I know you can get things for Marvel's Avengers. I know you can get things for Apex Legends. There's a bunch of different perks in there for Game Pass.
We got Discord Nitro.
Yeah.
Just recently.
There you go. Yeah, Discord Nitro.
Yep.
So, yep. So good stuff there. And if you play Halo, you'll get some extra goodies each month. If you do have to be an Ultimate subscriber. So, but it's worth it for $15 a month.
Seriously, it really is.
Because that one.
You
that
can play
includes Xbox
Battlefield
Live.
without having to pay $60 for it.
Yeah, you could give it a try before you buy.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Any last words on Halo? All right, we're gonna get into like the bunch of the mix and match news stories. So we'll see. Like, this could be kind of a weird quick section, or maybe we'll stop and talk a bunch about something. So, but to get started, this should be good news for all of us if they can actually get it done. I don't know how they didn't force it, but whatever, to start. Lawmakers are working on what they call Stopping Grinchbots Act. So I think a lot of us, I personally recently, have had trouble buying certain things online. And many of you are probably having trouble buying the new Switch, the SWOLED, right? Switch OLED, SWOLED, the PS5, the Xbox Series systems, right? And maybe some other stuff like the sweet Halo Elite controller or whatever. This act is aiming at people that use bots to buy up inventory or scalp products. So hopefully this is actually some good stuff, and hopefully it passes, and hopefully all you damn scalpers out there lose a bunch of money or go to jail or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you bastards.
Don't scalp. It's bad. You're evil.
Yeah, I want my Spider-Man tickets, damn it. They-
Did you get a bunch? Did a bunch of people do that?
Yeah, oh
It's
yeah,
more
they're
for-
really expensive online. It's really stupid.
It was more for that NFT. I think that's what they wanted.
NFTs.
The NFT. Some pretty cool news. As typical, I didn't throw it on here, but I should have. This is rumor, but we've been hearing little tidbits of this come through over the last couple months. So the details are probably fuzzy, but the rumor is probably real and going to happen sometime in the future. Sony is working on whatever their competitor is going to be to Game Pass. It came out this week. Bloomberg, our good friend, we don't really know him, but we're going to call him our good friend Jason Schreier.
We're gonna will it into existence.
Yep, Jason, you're welcome on the podcast anytime. Maybe break any of that Halo Infinite stuff on our podcast. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, he talked to apparently some insiders that said it's going to be kind of it's called Codename Spartacus. It's going to be a 3-tiered system, so it'll be interesting to see what prices are on that. But they're basically they're wrapping all their services they have already right now with PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus into these different tiers, and then you're going to get certain things based on which tier you subscribe to. But it is one of those if you're tier 3, you get tier 2 and tier 1 type of situation, right? So right now, again, still just rumor, tier 1 will include PlayStation Plus. So basically your base PlayStation Plus subscription. Tier 2 will include PlayStation Plus, as well as basically like your PS Now stuff with, but only for PS4 and eventually PS5 games. So you'll be able to probably play those, download a select catalog to play on your systems. And tier 3, which is to me the cooler one, depending on how well they support this. But again, a lot of this is from the PS Now service they offer already. Is tier 3 includes, again, tier 1 and tier 2, as well as extended demos, game streaming, and library of classic PS1, PS2, PS3, and the famed PSP games. So, what do you guys feel? Think this is pretty awesome?
I think Spartacus is a silly name.
Yeah, it is a pretty stupid name for it, and won't disagree with that. I mean, as someone who has PlayStation Plus, it would be kind of nice. I mean, it'd be cool to have that option for the PlayStation, though. I feel like every time Sony tries something like this, they always manage to make it overly complicated. So I'm worried that this is going to fall into that trap.
I'm curious. I think
like you're going to need an advanced flow chart to figure out what to buy.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm hoping it's reasonable pricing.
Sure.
That's what I'm worried about.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
Because like tier 3, if I wanted to go back and play, I mean, that's a big draw. I think that was a big complaint when we, talked about the Nintendo Switch Online Super Plus, whatever.
Expansion pass.
Yeah. Expansion pass, right? Is if they try to, play on, the hearts of gamers and charge more, like an unrealistic charge more, to get that tier 3 with all those older titles. So yeah, hopefully it's, I mean, if they want to compete with Microsoft. Now, granted, again, they have PS1, 2 PSP games. They got a nice large library of games pre-Microsoft and Xbox, or not pre-Microsoft, pre-Microsoft Xbox, that they can dip into that kind of could potentially, depending on how many they put up there, be a little bit better than like Game Pass. But yeah, hopefully it's reasonable. Hopefully it's around that $15 mark for tier 3. And
that's the key, because I mean, you could argue Microsoft's system is kind of messy too, but its Ultimate is priced so well that who cares?
Yep,
that's true. It's such a good offering.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go as far as say make tier 1 free, make tier 2 $5-10, and make tier 3 that $10-15 range. But yeah, we'll see.
Time will tell.
I hope that library for classic games is pretty extensive.
Yeah. Future Cop nice. LAPD. I want to see that game come back.
Dude, I didn't know that anybody else knew about
Oh,
that game.
Freaking love that game on the PlayStation.
That game was
It
insane.
was ridiculous, and I loved it.
I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and play that. I haven't. That's a name drop I haven't heard in a long time.
Well, hover cars and mechs. Mm.
Yeah, and dystopian LA.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
Sorry, Matt. Yeah, this is good
I
shit
wanted
right
to force
here.
the segue. That's why I was holding.
Yep.
Rumored to be coming next spring, and it's also rumored they're working on a competitor to Xbox Cloud Gaming as well. But that's the last
Smart
of the Sony stuff. That's the last of the Sony Game Pass competitor stuff. But anyways, fun quick bit of news. Like this will be quick. Harmonix was acquired by Epic Games. Harmonix are the developers of Rock Band, so hopefully they continue to support that because I know that can get tricky with music licensing.
Yeah.
So, or maybe this is a good thing, and they'll be bringing was another Rock Band. They only ever had the one Rock Band, right?
Me too.
I thought there was two.
No, wait.
Yeah.
No, they had like two Rock
Was
I
there
know
more
there
than
was a
two?
Rock Band too.
Yeah, there was definitely a second. Oh yeah,
Me
yeah,
too.
because that's when the keyboard came
How's
out.
this? Hopefully they have they develop a new Rock Band.
That's
There you
not
go.
what they're doing though.
You know.
They've already announced it's for Fortnite.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry guys.
Oh, they're a support studio now.
Yeah.
Oh man, that
Rough.
blows.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Harmonix. We miss Rock Band.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Sorry. Digital hugs. On to a fun update that dropped today. I only read through probably about a third of it, but some exciting news. Hell Let Loose dropped update 11 today with some fantastic goodies in there. So we're excited. I think we're going to hop on after the episode here and give it a go. But they had over 800 changes in bug fixes and updates in this. The big news is new Panzer IV tank for the German side, FG42 for the Germans, and trench gun for the American side. A bunch of updates to sounds and some of the maps, some metagame changes. I didn't even see this one. Join friends server. I'm gonna have to let you talk about all this stuff, Rich, and then some HUD UI changes as well. So since you, I think, read through the entire release notes, what else do we got here coming in update 11, Rich?
Well, first off, no, I did not
What?
read through the entire thing because holy
There's a lot
crap,
there.
this is a fat patch, dude. But the join friends server, that was something that I was freaking out earlier today in the Discord when I read this in the patch notes. This is part of their HUD and UI updates. So in the menus, you can actually see, you can filter the server based off of where you have friends. So it filters it. So no more of the was it the Tactical Realism 1, the one on Saint Marie du Mans, or was it on Purple Heart Lane? I don't know which one it was. Yeah. So no more of that bullshit. So you can actually see the server that your friends are playing on, and you can favorite them too, or see a history. There's a history tab.
That's good.
So you can, if you like a server, because I know we were just talking about this like a couple nights ago, is like, if you find a server that has a bunch of people that are awesome on it, I want to go back. So you have the ability to go back.
I played on a really good server, I will say a week ago, and I didn't even think about looking at the name of it. And then I came back the next night to play again. I'm like, shit, which server was that? I want to hop in there. It was everybody was very cooperative. They communicated, and it all just makes the Hell Let Loose experience better. And yeah, I think that same night I joined on one of the worst servers where everybody just sucked. I'm looking at you, Band of Brothers server.
We'll get one of our own servers one of these days.
That shit's expensive.
It is really expensive.
It's really, but a lot of good stuff. Looks like some more achievements. They added some for the offensive mode. They added some more offensive modes to certain maps that didn't already have it. I think mostly for the Germans, it looks like. A lot of some audio changes. I'm excited to get in and hear what the new Garen sounds like.
MG42, my baby. It's got new noises.
Yep. I shared on the Discord the other night. I was channeling some rich power through my machine gunner, got 50 kills.
Oh,
It was a
you
good
were
solid
you were
night.
playing machine gunner on that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that was machine gun.
Oh, it was one of the
Nice.
oh shoot, which it was one of the forest maps, and I kept getting at the top of the hills and looking down, and people come. It was like the hill goes down, it kind of was flat, and then the hill goes down again. So they're coming up on that first little hill up to the flat area, and I'm just sitting up there on the higher hill, and just they'd pop their heads up, and I'm just mowing them down. And I did that in a couple different spots on the map, and yeah, got a good 50 kills. It was a good time, but yeah, no, exciting stuff. I can't wait to dig in and see how it plays. And yeah, it's good stuff. I'm always excited to see new stuff coming to Hell Let Loose. That's my jam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it also came with a lot of bug fixes too for many of the different maps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some little things that bug me every now and then. I hope they hit some of those, get some of those fixed up. But yeah. Oh, and it's a small change, but I actually did hop in right before the podcast here. When you're in the barracks or just the main screen with your dude standing there, when you pick your different loadouts, he'll change the weapon and kind of he moves around. He's not just kind of standing
Oh,
at
that's right.
attention
Yeah,
the
he
whole
used to
time.
just be.
So there's a little bit more life in there, and it's pretty cool. So
Nice.
Been a while since I played. I'll have to get on there one of these days.
yep. You know, I'll be playing. Well, I don't know. I'll be trying to get through the Halo campaign. We'll see how much I play this next week. But Dying Light 2 has gone gold. Yeah, that's 2 months ahead of release because it's not supposed to come out till February. So I hope that studio is. I hope they're giving them, the developers and everybody there in the offices, like 2 weeks off or something. 3 weeks, because I think they went through a little bit of development hell. It sounded like, if any of the rumors are to be trusted, but yeah, it's good news. So they are not shipping it early though. Still coming out in February 4th.
No, I'm really hoping that what happens is it went gold. They gave people some time off. They'll come back after the holidays and work on that day one patch to get out there and be ready for us when I jump in there day one.
Yep. Hopefully it's fun. I know I've mentioned how I've been mixed feelings on the first Dying Light, so we'll see. But in some news for some other games you should play, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves has been. This was today, right? This came out.
Just announced today.
Coming to PS5 January 28th, 2022. TBA on PC. Did they say like?
They have no release date yet. I checked the Steam page just to make sure. It said 2022. So no firm dates yet.
Gotcha. So with this, it looks like kind of a typical, I'm going to say it, current gen upgrade. Next gen.
Officially current gen.
Last gen to current gen upgrade. Fidelity 4K, performance mode for like 120 FPS, dual PS5 DualSense upgrades, obviously faster load times, and it does not look like the multiplayer is coming along. If you've never played these before, it'll cost you 50 ducats. And if you already own, I guess which was this?
Yeah,
be all
sorry,
three
I
of
realized I didn't put that in there. It is Uncharted 4 and the Lost Legacy, which is the two gals.
Okay, so if you already own those, then it's an upgrade of $10. Okay. Yeah. And I guess if you purchase now, between now and February 3rd, you get a movie ticket to the film coming out. So
wow.
Yeah. If you've never played these before and you're one of the lucky, we're probably up to 9 or 10 people now that actually own a PS5. It's been a few months. If you're one of the lucky people who own a PS5 and have never played this, go pick it up. They are wonderful games.
So good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Uncharted series. So if you're a PC person, make sure you save a couple bucks and pick it up when it comes to PC. They're, again, great games.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
My favorite news is up next. Some more Spider-Man. Spider-Man Remastered has 2 new suits inspired by No Way Home, the movie Spider-Man No Way Home, that will be getting added to the game in a few days on the 10th of December here. Are those free?
Yeah.
Free upgrades?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just something your character, you just update the game and there's something your character can just toss on. And they've been doing that for all the Spider-Man movies as they've come out. you get your new costumes.
Nice.
Yep.
There you go. Pick those up here in a few days. Did you guys ever play Kingdoms of Amalur? Amalur?
Played it a tiny bit, and I have
Nope.
not gotten that deep into it.
I always heard it was a really good RPG. Back before the Xbox One came out, it was like one of those 360 games that I hadn't gotten to yet. I tried playing it and just had trouble getting into it. Not that it was bad. I forget. There was another game at the time.
It's a slow start.
This was pre-Destiny. This was pre-Destiny, so it wasn't Destiny. But there was another game I know took my attention away, and I never came back to it. And I was kicking around trying the Re-Reckoning, which they released, I think, earlier this year, which was like a remastered version of it. But they have they have a new expansion, like brand new content coming to it called Fatesworm. It's coming December 14th, and it'll be $20. So I think this is exciting for people that like this. And again, I've heard this is a great game. I just started to get into it, got distracted, never went back. But I'm curious to see if this is THQ Nordic, I believe. I didn't put that in the notes here. I'm curious if this is kind of them putting out feelers between the remaster and this new content to see if this is a world. Because that was one of the things, like, well, one, this is from, was it 38 Studio, the famed Kurt Schilling game studio that had a lot of legal issues towards the end there. But they were trying to build this, I think the world of Amalur kind of up, and it was supposed to be some crazy cool MMO that was going to be on scale with like WoW at the time. And so I'm curious to see, like, you know, again, everybody always said it was a good game, a good kind of universe. So I'm curious to see if THQ Nordic is going to try to make more stuff in that world.
It kind of is right up their alley to be like, we'll just kind of test it and see if people, a lot of people buy it, then people clearly want more content. So cool.
Yeah.
But
go pick it up if you like that game.
Yeah.
Again, I've kind of played it, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. So I think this is kind of, I think we've mentioned this before, but we kind of got a confirmation for it now, and we kind of knew it was coming. But Albert, or the voice of Albert Wesker, kind of potentially leaked the fact that there is a Resident Evil 4 remake actually coming. He shared some concept art on his Twitter, which was very quickly deleted, apparently. I don't follow the voice actor. But yeah, well, how do you guys feel about this? You excited? You're ready for another remaster? How did you guys feel about 4? I know you guys like the first 3 games, and I always thought 4 was one, like, I always thought that was up there with the first 3 games as well. Just, again, I haven't played, but from what
4 was just kind of a hard pivot away from what it was into kind of the current era, I guess it would be. It started becoming more actiony, and it's what brought us to 6, which I still haven't forgiven anyone for. So
yeah, it was that divergence from being more like puzzle solvey and like mystery kind of a game to more of, like what Chris said, like a more action packed, a lot more shooting involved. So because of that, I wasn't a huge fan, but I know that, I mean, Resident Evil 4 is critically acclaimed. There's a lot of people who absolutely love it. So
I mean, I'll always put forward my conspiracy theory that people only loved it because it was on the GameCube. But no, I a part of me, like, I wouldn't be shocked if they remake it to an extent. I mean, I would hope it'd be like a full remake like they did with Resident Evil 2. Not some half-assed like remaster, because remasters are just kind of boring. Like, cool, it looks prettier, great. But a part of me kind of wonders if some of the stuff that was leaked maybe was a result of the Oculus VR version of Resident Evil 4, not some actual like remake. I don't know. I haven't actually looked at the details because a lot of it was pulled so quickly.
Yeah. No, it was. I think that's when we talked about this last, was because of the ransomware attack that got a bunch of Capcom files. Which, again, that was the other time we talked about where I think it was like, there was stuff in there for Resident Evil 4 remake, and then the voice actor of Wesker again shared stuff that was taken out pretty quickly. So obviously, once we hear more concrete news, we'll chat about it. I'm I kind of feel, I don't know if it's a good thing, but next year I was going to go work through 1 through 3, and I guess always in my mind, just because I always heard 5 and 6 weren't great, 4 was always going to be the game like I stopped at, right? You know, I mean, I guess depending on how hooked and how invested I got into the universe, but so I was kind of excited and hope this actually happens. The rumor is it comes out in 2023, so that gives me all of 2022 to get through 1 and 3,
time.
1, 2, 3. So
I will put it out there. 5 is fine if you have a friend to play it with. Otherwise,
And
it's
what about
awful.
6?
I can't stand 6. I really hated it so much.
wait for the remake.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, and our last bit of episode, last bit of content. Let's see. So we're almost to the end. I almost made it. So last bit of information here for our episode is about Titanfall, the OG Titanfall. They're kind of pulling the cord on that here, but don't worry. If you already own the game, or the servers are going to still be live, so you're still going to be able to play. They're just going to be halting all sales of the physical copies. I guess new ones, the ones that are already out there, you can get.
Yeah.
Or if you go to GameStop or something like that. But they're also going to be removing it from digital stores and removing it from EA Live services next March. So
So this is for Titanfall 1,
first,
Correct.
not Titanfall 2.
And I'm wondering if some of this is due to the fact that we didn't hit on it a lot on the podcast, but earlier this summer, Titanfall 1 and 2 were getting hacked pretty hard. There was a lot of stuff going on there. And I'm wondering if this is just like, we don't have a lot. We're going to keep the servers running for those that already own it and still play it. We don't want new sales. We're just, again, kind of keep it on life support, and it's going to be in whatever state it is, and whatever happens. And then they're going to just keep their focus on Apex and hopefully Titanfall 2 still. I think that's still a pretty active community, and it's a newer game. So we'll see. It's kind of a bummer. I actually thought I was one of the people that always thought Titanfall 1's multiplayer was better than 2. Although I haven't gone back and played in a long time. It was also one of the few shooters I was very good at. I was really good. I should share it on Instagram. I had a pretty good KD. I was pretty good in my day on there, both as a pilot and a Titan. So
What happened?
Destiny came out.
No, fair. As it did for so many.
Yep. And but and as far as my other skill level, I just suck at other games. It's just every now and then I get a game I'm okay at. So, but yes. Well, is there anything else you guys thought of? Any last minute?
No, I'm looking forward to seeing what we get at the Game Awards this Thursday.
I'm so pumped.
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited. There could be
it's becoming like, funny enough, like we used to kind of treat it as kind of like a meme. Like the Game Awards used to be kind of a meme, but now it's like not so much anymore.
Well,
like they've taken themselves a little bit more seriously. They do a lot more with it. It's still kind of a meme.
I'm gonna
the
put an
awards
asterisk
are
there.
a meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
We're
It's
watching for the
become-
trailers.
That's true. You know what? That's fine. It's like watching the Super Bowl for the commercials. Like,
Exactly.
I'm totally fine with that.
Except for unlike the Super Bowl, I think there's more trailers than ball game, right?
That's
But
probably
I mean,
true. Yeah.
But I mean, in all fairness, I'll give some credit to Jeff Keighley. I mean, I remember when did he start this? 6-7 years ago or something like that.
Something like that.
Like
yeah.
it was very cringy, and it was bad. It can still get cringy from time to time, but I mean, he's done a good job of kind of making it a little more modern, try to get rid of that like kind of stigma around video games and kind of turn it into a real award show. But yeah, I mean, the big draw is the fact that I feel it's starting to be that last place in a calendar year where some studios and publishers and companies throw in that last little like kind of teaser, or trailer or announcement. So we're gonna get some good
winter
stuff.
E3.
Yeah, kind of winter E3. So we're expecting some games to show up with some new trailers, some unexpected stuff. We're gonna get our first live action trailer for the Halo series.
That's right.
Excited about that. So it should be an event. We'll be covering that next week, along with some of our picks for our Campy Awards. So Good stuff. Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm ready for the campies.
Yep, me
You
too.
guys ready for the campies?
Oh yeah.
Do you know
Yep.
who's going to win the campies?
Last of Us Part 2.
Exactly.
I'm already
Last
done
of Us
voting.
Part
Aren't
2.
you guys
Yep.
done?
There's no need to vote. The Last of Us Part 2 is the only vote.
Exactly. We just name a category and we just say,
Yeah. Best MMORPG, Last of Us Part 2.
yep. Best racing game,
Last of Us Part 2.
best simulator, best mobile game. Yeah, anyways, you can find us at campfiregamingpodcast.com. As we've said before, come check us out on Discord because we love chatting, and maybe me and Chris will actually get in there and fight sometime about
Maybe.
Halo. So
Yeah.
maybe
Maybe.
no, like a separate channel. Anyways,
yeah.
but yes, check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch and YouTube. I'm blanking on everything else, but yeah, come give us a like, a subscribe, watch our videos, leave us some comments. Yeah, we love you. And now that was awkward, thanks for joining me, guys. It was a pleasure having you. We'll see you next time. We'll see you guys next time around the campfire.